Hey beautiful, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, hi, my name is Alexisjayda and welcome to my channel. Today's notification shout out goes to CTC. Besos. Thank you so much for your love and support. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you want to be part of the notification squad, all you have to do is just like the video, be subscribed, turn on your notification, and leave a comment, and you can possibly be the next notification shout out. I feel like, you know, when you're like gone for quite some time and then you come back and you're like, hey, hi. Like, that's how I feel right now. I feel like it's been a week. It's been a hot minute. I'm so sorry. And you guys will see soon why it's been a hot week. But let's just get right into it. Everything that I'm using will be linked down below if you guys are interested in anything. I always list everything that I do in order down below, so make sure to check that out. If you see something and you're like, oh, I like that, I got a link for you, boo. So this is going to be continuing on to my Nanny series. I have a Nanny series and I will link the playlist down below in order when the first Nanny video to now. It will make more sense if you go in that order. I had it in a messed up order before. I had it from like newest to like oldest, but that's not the way, like you wouldn't watch a Netflix movie and watch from the last episode to how it began. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, so I fixed it. So now it's from the very start, and then the last one is like the newest video. So it is going to be in that order. I will leave it in the description box and I will leave it in the comment section as well, because I did that last time and a few of you were like, I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. You have to watch the other videos and it'll make more sense and you'll kind of understand like who's who. Even when Fam Bam were like, oh, Sam is this person or Skillet is this person, you guys are still like, huh? Or even when I tried to explain, it needs more than that. So make sure to check out the first video of the Nanny series and it'll make more sense. I do other story time. All right, with that being said, let's get into it. Let me know what you're doing. If you're doing your makeup, please tag me or even use the hashtag LexFamBam. And I would love to see if you're driving somewhere. Someone commented and was like, y'all better not be commenting while you're driving. Of course not. When you're at a stoplight, just, or talk, hey Siri, let them know where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Come on now, y'all. So let me know where you're going, where you're driving, or if even you're a passenger, chingona, like, okay, like this is where I'm going. Let me know where you're going. Let me know what you're doing. If you're washing, you're cooking. I want to know it all. We're chismeando, so let me know down below. All right, guys, so let's get into part 2. Now, if I get emotional, I'm gonna be pissed because first of all, I'm not trying to cry. Second of all, they got it twice. So with how my life has gone, it has taught me at a young age a lot of things, and sometimes we need to be taught lessons because we're too stubborn and we're like, that person is my ride or die, like that person loves me, and you really think that everyone is going to do that for you. Like you literally really think that like, oh, okay, I thought everyone was going to pretty much have like the same heart as me and was going to see things how I saw because I rocked like that and I handle situations like that, and I watched too many movies and thought like, oh, this is like how everyone is going to do it because they talk like this. Nah, my heart is literally in my butt. I know people use that expression a lot, but until you have felt so uncomfortable to the point like you want to shit yourself, you don't know what it is. You don't know the feeling. You don't know what people mean when they say that. You know, sometimes people just like to say things because, oh yeah, I've heard so-and-so say it, but have you experienced the feeling? No? Okay, shut up. So she's walking close to me. Ursula, we have Shadow, and we have Skillet. She's walking close to me. I literally felt like I was going to just, I was gonna die right there on the spot. I felt like I was going to soil myself. I even thought, what if I did soil myself so they wouldn't even touch me because they would know how, let's just be real, how scared I was, because I've seen Skillet get down. I've seen Shadow get down. Obviously, I've seen Ursula get down. But Shadow and Skillet, they got down in another, especially Shadow, she played dirty and disgusting. So I already knew that I was going to leave really fucked up. Like, I just knew it. And I didn't want to feel that. No one wants to ever feel pain or anything. So Skillet's walking close to me and she's pissed. You could see it in her face because we were going at it on the phone and we were saying this, that, F you, F you too, super bitch, like talking really nasty to each other. Even though me and Skillet have gotten into it, like we really have gotten into it, because she tends to, when she's with a dude, she tends to, like, if they're feeling some way, she's feeling some way. And I get it, you know, rock with your dude, whatever. But what I don't like is how she would act like other people didn't matter. And then her and that person wouldn't even end up being together. Like, that's not your forever boo. But then she would want to apologize for how she like acted and stuff. Now, I'm not trying to say like, oh, Skillet was in the wrong or this or that. But I felt honestly betrayed because I thought we had something. I thought we understood each other, and I thought we were better than this. Honestly, I thought we laughed at those dumb bitches that would go get crazy over some stupid petty drama, because we didn't have that. I thought we understood each other on a level where like I was talking up here and I can just look at you and you knew what I was saying. Like, I thought we had that. Like, I thought we were cool. And I was reading the comments where you guys were like, oh, I blame Skillet. Oh, I don't blame Skillet. I respect your guys' opinion. I feel, and I still feel to this day, since, oh, and at the same time, I can't tell you, like, I could tell you guys, like, all the history between me and Skillet, but for what she did, she was wrong. Because there was a lot of times where I would get in some mess, and I was still like, that's who I'm writing for, like, no, you're crazy, this and that. And I could understand she was threatened because, like, I was putting Sam, you know, above her, I guess if you want to say that. I know where I went wrong by putting Sam ahead of like a lot of friends and letting her come places, still giving her chances after she had did what she did with the ex, giving her chances after she had messaged him, giving her chances after she disrespected Shadow, giving her I messed up. But where I feel like Skillet messed up was that even though like Sam was getting rowdy, this and that, I wasn't the one who stole the money. And I feel like Skillet was just too hot-headed, and I don't know if it was because like Shadow was in her ear, I don't know if it's because Ursula was in her ear. It didn't have to go down the way it did, and it like makes me mad that like just because other people were chirping, like she was cool with it, you know. So that makes me upset. And I've already expressed my feelings to Skillet and stuff like that, and we have talked about it, not recently, but we have talked about it when we were a little bit older. You know, she apologized and stuff. But when I think about this particular moment, especially last week when I ended it, I was pissed all over again, because I'm like expressing and like talking. Okay, anyways, so Skillet comes up to me and she's very intimidating. But me and this girl have been through so much that I already know all her moves. I already know how she like does things, or how she tries to intimidate people, because I've seen her do it to other people, but you're not gonna do it to me. She wants to come up to me and be like, what was all that thing that, like, you know how like you go like how guys like bulk up like this? So she was doing that. So like, so what's all that you were saying, whatever. I was like, calm down. Like, I tend to come off so annoyed when I feel like people are trying to punk on me. Like, I come off so annoyed. So she's doing all that. Her shoulders are in. She's like, so what's all that shit that you were saying? I was just super annoyed. And I was like, calm down. Like, calm down. You're doing too much. Because I don't know why. Like, the bitch in me just comes out that way, where she's pissed. She's disgusted. I don't know why. It just happens. And I sometimes, like, in my head as it's happening, I'm freaking laughing, because, oh gosh, like other times or when people get crazy or like road rage and like they want to scream, it's like, stop. What's wrong with you? Like, I don't know why. I don't know why the hell it happens. So when she was doing all that, I was like, stop. Quit. Like, I was just like, so as she's doing that, Shadow's coming behind her, and Ursula is just like cracking her, which is like, you're really doing too much. Like, why you gotta do that, bitch? What are you doing? You're not doing, you're gonna hurt yourself. Don't. 'Cause she was like really trying to like force it. Bitch, don't. Just go. Just do that. Don't even hurt yourself. Like, Shadow is just pissed doing the whole, so what's all that you were talking, Like, what's up? Go get some chopstick, bitch. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I was over it. The dude didn't get out of the car. He stayed in the car, I guess to be like the getaway or whatever the hell. Skillet's here, Shadow's here, Ursula's here. And I already know this technique because I have seen it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. I have never jumped anybody, ever. but I have seen it where you see it. You see guys, yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen guy fights, but guys tend to do it too. It's just something that people, even if they're not going to jump somebody, they want to circle around the person. So that's what she was doing. So as they were doing it, I was just kind of stepping back because you got me messed up. You think you're gonna come from behind? No, I'm still talking to Skillet, and inside, you don't know how bad I wanted to be like, no, like, let's not do it. But I could not. And I don't know if it's because of my pride. I don't know if it's because like I'm gonna get my ass beat regardless and I don't want to look a bitch. Like, I don't know what it was, but I cannot tell myself to tell her, I didn't do it, Sam did it. Cause like, even though I could have, I would have done nothing. They wanted me because I had taken Sam. They wanted me, period, regardless if it was her or like, you know what I mean? Like, I was trying to play out all the scenarios. Like, what if they're like, okay, and, you know, like, you still said what you said. Or if they're like, all right, let's go get her. I still wouldn't take them to go get her, you know? So it was just like a mess of emotions, but I still could not get myself to tell her, but I love you. Like, why are we going to fight? Like, I love you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I care about you. I could never imagine doing that to my brother. Someone like I really loved. And so I couldn't get myself to say it, you guys. I could not. I was just, even though I was talking my mess, I was choking on the words that I honestly wanted to really say. But I don't know if it was my subconscious or if it was my pride, but I could not. Even as an adult, I only do it a few times. If I have ever told you how I really felt, then you should feel really loved, because I really don't really express myself that much, just because I see how people are, and I see people when they say they care, but actions speak louder than words. I'll tell you that. Anyways, she keeps moving closer. I'm still backing up, and I literally feel like my legs are about to buckle because I'm in so much fear of this happening, of me getting hit. And I just keep thinking like, oh, I hope like if they hit me, I don't fall down and hit my head and die. I hope that they don't pick up anything, because Shadow was known for like playing really nasty, you know? And I was pissed because I'm like, if I was her girl, this never would have been happening at all. Like, it wouldn't, there'd be no nothing. Like, it felt like it sucked because I had to like be with Shadow in order for her to like be nice to me and not get all stupid on me. And I'm just in general just hurt about what's going on. We're still talking smack back and forth. It feels like forever has gone by, but it really hasn't. It's just because I'm just scared. Skillet is just telling me like, what's up with all that shit you're talking, huh? Acting real brave. I was like, no one's acting brave. Do what you're gonna do. I got shit to do. Oh yeah, where you got to go? We know you ain't got nowhere to go, bitch. And I'm like, okay, and okay, you're cool. You're cool. I was like, even though your mama's been trying with you, you don't even want it because you'd rather be a hoe than be at home. And that's, I think, what really got in her feelings, because it was true. She liked being out, you know what I mean? Once you like a certain lifestyle, you don't want to sometimes go back, you know? And we were still kids. It's not like we're gonna be able to go back and do what we would want if our parents got their shit together. They're gonna tell us like, no, you're not gonna do this. No, you're not gonna do that. So it hit, and she felt it. As soon as I said that, it was just like instant, like, and I'm telling you, and I don't know if it's because my adrenaline was rushing. I'm not trying to sound cool. All I remember is my head going back. I'm trying not to like have my head go back. And it came right back up, and it was just like a natural instinct, because my mom has always taught me never to hit like this, to always hit like this. And so like that your shoulder goes into it, and then if anything you can just, so once I felt my head snap back and I came right back up, it was just like an instant to go sideways and just hit her back, and then just hit her in her nose. So I hit her in her nose, and she goes like this. Ursula, Shadow, Bert go, oh, and then it just starts. And I just remember just getting hit from this way, getting hit from this way. I remember, I swear, I felt like she grabbed my boobs, but I was wearing a shirt, and Shadow grabbed me from here. But when she grabbed me, I feel like she like grabbed me, you know what I'm saying? So she grabbed me from there, and I'm just hitting. I don't care who, I'm just throwing. Like at that point, you don't even care where you're hitting. I'm just hitting everybody. Everyone's getting putazos, bitches. I'm just hitting whoever I can, screaming. I'm just mad. Like, have you ever been so mad or so hurt you just scream? Like, I've never heard when people were like, you were so mad you want to howl. Like, bitch, what? But yeah, it's a thing. So I was just so hurt, so annoyed at the whole situation. I was hitting, I hit Shadow, and I kept like trying not to like hit her in her face because I was like, she's going to stomp me. She's going to stomp me out. All she had to do is she jump on me twice and break everything. Like, I'm telling you, like, she could play basketball. Like, she was tall. So I'm hitting, I end up on the floor. I don't even see Skillet because I'm like I'm still trying to like look around because I'm scared, like, what if she ran and got something? So now I'm on the floor and my stomach is on the floor. My head's like this and I'm like still trying to look up. I'm trying to hold my head like up high because I'm scared they're gonna hit me in the back of the head, or they're gonna like smack my head down and like all this is just gonna go up, right? Because I'm telling you, like, they weren't playing right. Like, it wasn't. I would have been down to fight every single one-on-one, and that's not even sounding chingona. I'd rather have done that than get jumped because it just wasn't fair. I didn't know where the hits were coming and they were taking their time, having fun. All I remember is just tasting the freaking blood in my mouth, and I remember going like this and feeling like it was split. So I'm looking around, I'm trying to see, and I just see Skillet. She's sitting down on the floor and she's just like this and she's crying. And even though she hit me first, I still felt bad. I still was like, oh my God. So I just screamed, stop, like loud. But before they stopped, I just feel like a shoe just go. And I don't know if it's because like I had a reaction, but it didn't hit me as hard. I don't know. But it was just like here's the, I'm like, stop, like screaming. And I just remember like her freaking shoe just going like that. And it just like barely going like this. And then my nose just like gushing. And so I literally could not even get on my knees and get up because I'm like, they're gonna kick me back down. I rolled, like, I'm not even joking. I rolled like far as enough down. So if so I could see them, so I could get up. And so as I'm getting up, because how far I rolled, I see Shadow and Ursula, and I see Ursula and she just looks mad. Her hair, her braids are all messed up. Everything on her face is just, she had some nose piercings. Like, so where I don't know if like Shadow was hitting her on accident too, or where we were both just like all just going whatever. I was just like, I can't even tell you like exactly how everything like really played out because it all happened like very quickly but slow. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I remember there was a time where like Shadow picked me up, like she kept like touching me, yo, like I'm not even joking. Like, it was like she was like really, you know, and so she like grabbed me from here, and as she's grabbing me from here, I'm just like going like my head back, and as she's grabbing me and I'm like kicking because like she's literally picking me up like a baby. I'm trying to like go up like that. I'm trying my hardest. As she's doing that, the bitch over here is like pulling my hair, and I'm like trying to hit her. I'm trying everything that I possibly can. I am exhausted. I am tired. I look up and Shadow still looks pretty much like okay, not too beaten up. She has like some scratches here. She's a little bit red. Her forehead's a little bit red. Ursula looked a little bit more jacked up. But we're looking at each other, and I'm like, have you ever felt like you can never catch your breath? Like you can't swallow your own air? You know what I'm saying? Where you go and you get a good, okay, it's done. Have you ever felt like you couldn't do that? Well, I feel like I couldn't do that. I honestly felt like they had broke something. I was like, oh my God, like I'm going to die, because I could not catch my breath. And at the time, nothing was really hurting. I just couldn't catch my breath. But because like my adrenaline rush was just like super high, my body was pretty much protecting itself because these freaking putas wanted to get crazy. So as we're looking at each other, trying to catch our breath, and I see Shadow putting her hands above her head, because that's how, it's like a technique that you can use to open your lungs to breathe. She starts doing that, and so I just mimic because I'm like, oh my God, I still can't catch my breath. Like, oh my God. I look over at Skillet and she's still crying, and I'm like, I'm mad because I'm like, bitch, I know I did not hit you that hard, and you were not the one who got hit. So I'm like, why are you crying, stupid bitch? Like, I'm just so mad because I'm just like, it's done. Like, you hit me. Like, you hit me. It's done. You ruined this. It's done. Like, I'm just mad. My adrenaline is rushing. Ursula is like just still mad, and trying to talk, calling me certain names, saying yada yada yada. I'm like, dude, I don't even care. Shut the. She's like, you want to go again? You want to go again? I'm like, let's do it. Like, if that makes you a bad bitch and you think that like, oh, I'm gonna jump her, that makes you cool. No, bitch, just go one-on-one. Oh, you want one-on-one? Yeah, I won't. Like, stop repeating what I'm saying. Pendeja estúpida. Like, yes, one-on-one. So I am like, you know, I'm not even saying anything to Shadow because I'm like, girl, like, like the way you would grab it up, like, I don't think like we on the same page of fighting. Like, I don't know what you're doing. You're over here trying to grab like the cooch. Nope. So I'm still yelling at Ursula, I'm still yelling at Skillet, and then Shadow wants to be like, are you good? Are you done? Like that. And so little me wanted to say, I'm good. But did I? No. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm really fucking tired of everything. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you. And I'm tired of you, you bum bitch. Like, I was so mad at Skillet. How could you? So she's not even saying anything back. She's just freaking crying. She's just crying. The dude's in the car. He doesn't even care what we're doing. We probably look stupid. And he's just like making a phone call. I'm mad because I'm like, people are at the park. They didn't even care. They didn't even care. No one else really cared. No one cared to stop it. No one cared to like intervene. No one cared to say, hey, nothing. Like, no one did anything. And it just sucks. Because it's like, you're not gonna say anything. You're not gonna do nada. No, they ain't do a damn thing. Oh, yo, like, I'm really trying to do my makeup and talk, but I can't. And I can call Skillet a bum bitch because I was a bum bitch, okay? It's one of those things. And it's something we always called each other because we were both in the situation we were. Shadow asked, like, are you good? Are you done? You don't know how bad I wanted to be like, yes, but I didn't. And so she like tells me like, you wanna go again? You wanna go again? I'm like, yes, bitch, let's go again, but don't try to fuck me this time. Oh, I don't know why that came out of my mouth, but it struck a nerve with her. She goes, what? What? Yo, did you hear what she said? Yo, what? What? Did you hear what she said? Or so it's like, I heard what she said because that's her boo, you know? So of course she's gonna feel some way. And so she keeps repeating it like a dumbass. Like, did you hear? Oh man, Shawty crazy. Like, you heard, like, bitch was blushing and all. So what do I say? I said, bitch, what you blushing for? You heard what I said. I'm down to fight, but don't be grabbing my fucking boobs. Don't be grabbing my cooch. Don't be trying to grab my ass. Bitch, don't even pull my hair. Let's just fight and let's just get it over with. Ursula's like, so what you gonna do? Pissed. So I start going at Ursula. I'm like, why the f you fighting me for? You think I want her? I don't want her. Why are you fighting me? I don't want her at all. You can have her. You can have her. If I wanted her, I could have her, but I don't. So what the fuck you fighting me for? This has nothing to do with you. I'm like, you fucking jealous bitch. Like, I was just so mad, and little Alexis inside was like, shut the fuck up. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, oh my God. But I was mad. And you know how sometimes when you can hear the room go quiet? Skillet wasn't crying no more. So I was like, run. Dun, 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 dun. Just kidding. Nah. That. So she wasn't crying no more. So I'm like looking to see like where she went and stuff, because like, hello, what's going on? She's not there no more. I don't know where she went. I'm like, damn, like how could I have gotten like so into like telling her, you know, Tweedledum and Tweedledee, whatever, Tweedledum, thing one and thing two something that I couldn't even freaking think about what was going on. And so when I asked her dumbass, like, why are you even fighting me for? And she's like, cause you're a disrespectful bitch. You need to be put in your place. I was like, says who? You're the one who's the most disrespectful, bitch. You don't even shower. Like, I know that I don't have a home, but bitch, I still shower. And so we were just talking smack. And my mouth was like filling up with the freaking, like a little bit of blood. So I spit. And she's like, oh, you're gonna talk to me and be disrespectful and spit towards my feet? We were so far apart, you have no idea. She didn't know what to fight about. Bitch wanted to fight about anything. Like, I was so annoyed with her. So I just... we just kept going back and forth, like just throwing like, oh, and your mom's this, your mom rather choose this, your mom rather choose like, you know, your stepdad over you. But I'm like, okay, and I told you that in confidence, you stupid bitch, but okay. And your mother too, okay. Oh yeah, your mom's okay, your sister, oh, okay, your grandma. But I don't care. Like, keep it going. Okay, all right, whatever. And so it was just, it wasn't doing anything. Like, I don't know what they thought. Like, I was just gonna cry on the spot. I'll cry later, okay? But not now. Like, it's just, they're just dumb. I don't know what they thought. Like, they honestly thought I was gonna cry on the spot right there. But Shadow had nothing to say after what I said. She was just like, she felt stupid. I don't know, she was thinking in her head like, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say that. Bitch, say something now, okay? Over here trying to freaking grab my gris. Freak. Pinche cochina marrana. Like, pissed me off. So I couldn't see where Skillet went, and even Shadow, I could see that she was trying to look, but we could still hear Ursula yapping. It was serious. She would not shut up. Like, it was seriously just yap, 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 and shut up, shut up. She didn't know what to say. She just kept going and going and going and going. Like, she literally, I'm telling you, me and Shadow were both looking like, where the hell did she go? And she was still talking. I had to look back like, what'd you say? Because I honestly did not hear anything. Like, it was just like, whatever. I was literally like, where the freak did someone kidnap Skillet? Because she just disappeared. So she just disappeared. I don't know where the hell she went. We're like, what? Homegirl still like, no one cares. Like, you don't even go here. Like, it was just one of those things where it's just like, you're just a filler. What do you want? No one even cares. Go. No, go ahead, go. No one cares. We eventually see Skillet come out of the bathroom, and she is just like super just emotional, like very, very emotional, which I am like, why? Like, I'm so mad because I'm like, why? Like, why now? Like, you really couldn't stop yourself before. Even if you're having a bad day, you could have told me and I could have just hugged you. Okay, so she gets closer to where we're at, which is just stupid, because go away. I'm mad, but I still want to see you like get in the car and I make sure that you're good, you know? Stupid me. So she comes towards me, and so she was like, so what is it? So where's the stuff? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't take it. I'm like, and it pisses me off that you're accusing me. I didn't take it. She's like, I'm accusing you and the girl that you brought. Okay, well, I don't know. I was like, I don't speak for Sam, so you can go ask her. I don't know. I didn't take anything. I was there late that night, but I didn't take anything. She is kind of like on her phone, and I'm like thinking she's like calling for backup or she's doing something stupid. And then she goes, oh, she just dropped it off. And she didn't even need to tell me what that meant. In my head, I was like, oh, that stupid bitch went to the house and dropped off what she took. And sure enough, that's what happened. And so as soon as she said that, Shadow's like, oh, so we're good now. And like kind of like taps like my shoulder, like if we're cool. I was like, don't touch me. Like, don't ever touch me. Don't ever touch me. And she doesn't even really say anything. She just looks close at Ursula, and she kind of was just like, you know, because I'm telling y'all, she literally, like, she did unnecessary grabs that she didn't need to do. I'm pretty sure my face is fucked up because I felt like, you know how you just feel like you have a knot or you feel swollen? Like, I'm pretty sure my face is fucked up, and you guys want to sit here and you guys want to sit here and talk like if it's nothing. Like, it's not nothing. You just fucked me up. Like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, so it's good now. And so I look at Skillet and I'm like, so what happened? She's like, oh, Sam just dropped it off. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because I was going to sit here and be like, I told you that, because like that right there speaks for herself. I'm not with Sam, and I didn't take it. So Sam's dumbass went to the house and dropped off everything that she took. I don't know how, but she caught a ride with somebody and they went with her to go drop off the items, and that was that. So Shadow was like, oh, we're good now. And I was mad because I already got my ass beat by them. So I was already like, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay if we go another round. I'm okay. So I started getting upset, and I was telling them like, no, we're not good. Like, we're never gonna be good ever. Like, I told you I didn't take it, and that should have been enough. If she took it, okay, whatever, that's on her. That would have been like, you guys could have done whatever. It's on her. I don't care. But the thing is that you guys came together to do this, and it's not even your money. And so when I start saying your money, Skillet wants to get mad and be like, no, but it's my man's, so it's a whole different thing. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if it's your man, Skillet. I was like, you have a different man every so often, so why does this one matter so much? It wasn't like she was pregnant or anything, so don't even worry. Like, she wasn't like, oh my god, expecting from this dude or anything like that. That's just how Skillet was. Like, she just rode for people, and it was just a little bit too hard. Oops, it wasn't intentional to say that. You really like let someone come between us like that. And so she's like getting upset and she's like, you let someone come between us, referring to Sam. And I'm like, dude, I honestly don't give a damn. Like, how many people have, you know, you've been friends with and I don't feel any type of way, I don't do anything, but you want to sit here and you want to make me feel some way about me having her as a friend. I'm like, if anything, I had to, like, you know, make sure that nothing happened to her because she is the boss's kid. Like, that's it. Like, if it was really that big of an issue and you really expressed yourself to where I was like, oh damn, like she's for real, then okay, it would have been something different. Like, did I mess up and bring her around when y'all didn't like her? Yeah, that was my bad. But if I would have known it would have been to this extent where you guys are like, nah, I would have never, it would have been nothing. Like, it would have been like, okay, whatever. And so we were just like screaming at each other, literally just like in each other's faces. It was getting pretty intense, like pretty intense, because she was saying things, I was saying things. She felt like I didn't care about her anymore, and I felt like she didn't care about me either, because honestly, you are going to trip out. And I guess her dude he didn't even really like make a big deal about it. It was pretty much just her because she felt like disrespected. I get it, but it's like, I honestly felt like it was just an opportunity where they were like pissed off at me, and so they wanted to beat my ass for it. That's honestly how it felt. It didn't feel like if it was like, oh, because this or because, no, like it was just because of that. Like, it is what it is. I'm gonna call it what it is. We're yelling at each other, screaming at each other, and she's like telling me that like I'm not a good friend basically, and that she has been there. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. And like same thing goes for you. Like, even when stuff was good with like my mom and everything, like I would still risk it and fight with her because I wanted to make sure you were good. Or when my mom said that you couldn't come in the house or whatever, I always made sure to like go with you. Like, there was a time where my mom was doing better and Skillet needed somewhere to go. My mom was like, no, because she thought we were lying. She thought that like we were just up to our no good stuff and that Skillet was just making up a lie. And my mom was like, no, like I'm pretty sure she can find somewhere to go. I was like, okay, F you, mom. And I left with Skillet and I ruined what me and my mom were building up. Even though I was a child, like I knew what I was doing. I knew I was risking me and my mom's new relationship because I wanted to be with Skillet. So I was telling her like, how? And she's done the same. She's checked up on me more than anybody has. So it was just like we were both hurt and it felt pretty much like a breakup. But I was telling her like, it's your bad for laying your hand on me. Like, you didn't have to lay your hand on me. I'm like, fuck Shadow, Ursula, like I don't care about them. I was like, but for you to do it, that's grimy. Like, because it really was. In my personal opinion, it was uncalled for. Like, it honestly was. I don't care if she was mad, y'all. Like, I don't care. She didn't have to show up with them. And so as I'm getting ready to like finish my grand speech, because there's no need for us just to still sit there and talk. Like, there's really not. Like, we don't have to continue to finish this weird ass conversation. I don't know. Have you ever felt like you never know how to like end a conversation? You're like, okay, and you just start like stepping away. It felt like that, where I'm just like, why am I even here still? Like, I need to go make sure that I still got all my teeth. I gotta make sure that I'm still good. So as I'm walking away, Shadow's like, so what now? That's what Shadow says. And I was like, nothing, bitch. Like, we're done. All of us, we're done. And so I'm walking away and Shadow doesn't say anything anymore. She's just probably like, okay, you know, because what is there to say? Like, what do you say? As I'm walking away, Skillet pulls me and I'm thinking like a pendeja, she's pulling to like hug me or something like that. I honestly thought that's what it was because I'm stupid and I watch too many like cute ass movies or something. I'm walking away and what pisses me off, I'm just gonna rant real quick. She could have done this as I was like looking at her. She wanted to get me. So I'm walking away for the millionth time that I'm saying. I'm walking away. She pulls me back and I'm thinking like she wants to hug. So I have my hand out to hug and she punches me in the face like 2 fucking times. And that hurt. And I think because like the adrenaline was calming down. It says, come on guys. Not to come on because they're walking. She wanted them to join in. But Shadow and Ursula didn't this time. They were like, nah, you good. You handle that. And so when she said that and I was like putting together what she said, and I was like, oh, you bitch. And so I go back, grab her hair, and I start punching her in her face. Because I was like, we're not playing like by the rules. We're not doing this. Like, F the rules. With people like this, or like this taught me, this is what I mean. Like, I learned lots of life lessons, and my husband has said it too. Like, no one's gonna play the right way. Like, everyone's out for themselves. You think someone's gonna be like, oh, let's not do this because they might hurt you. Or like, oh, let's not do this. It's true. It's very, very freaking true. No one cares. So I grab her. I literally run my hand through her hair. Okay, run my hand through her. I was using this hand. Run my hand through her hair, and I just start punching her. She's kicking me. We're punching each other. I swear I felt her grab my long cock because my side was hurting, but it's probably because it was just too much already. But we are just going at it. And then she tells him again, Shadow, fucking get her. And I'm like, what the hell? Because you really got me messed up. So I pull back and I wait, because I'm like, oh, they're gonna like for real come this time, because she sounded for real serious, but they don't. And that's something where I'm like, okay, Shadow, thanks for not jumping in on that part, because honestly I was a little bit too tired for it, to be honest. So I just look at her and she's like, nah, you're good, you do it. Like, I don't know, because her feelings are hurt, but she didn't do it. So she tells her, no, you handle it. I said, damn, bitch, how many times are you gonna call her to jump in? Either you handle me or don't handle me at all, and just shut the F up, and don't ever talk to me again. Like, I'm literally screaming. Like, we're not talking nonchalant. We're not like, don't ever talk to me again. Ever, bitch. Like, ever talk to me again. Like, I was like, handle your own, bitch. Handle your own. Because I'm upset. Like, how are you really trying to get me jumped 3 times? First, because you pulled up with them. Second, because you're calling on her. Third, because you're calling on her again. The hell is wrong with you? So, I don't know why Shadow didn't jump in. Like, we never really, like, talked about it. But I honestly don't know why she didn't jump in. I'm telling her pretty much, like, why do you need backup? Like, what's up with you? Like, what's wrong with you? And she is just upset, and she's kind of just like huffing and puffing. It looks like she's crying. So I call her out on it. Like, why are you crying when this is like what you wanted? Like, you keep going, you want this. You're the one who started. Like, I'm not touching you, like, you're touching me. And she tells me, you make me touch you, you make me do this. And that kind of just like pisses me off, because it kind of just reminded me like what the ex would say. Like, when we would fight, he would pretty much be like, you make me lose my temper, you make me hit you. Like, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? When she wanted to say that, I was like, Skillet, shut the fuck up. And so I'm like, I'm leaving. Like, I'm good. Like, are you good? Like, obviously you don't want to do this, you just want to keep going back and forth, and you need backup, and I don't need backup. So you good? So I finally start walking away from all this freaking crazy ass mess. I'm like, wow, really? Did that just really happen? It's just like embarrassing. So I'm walking and I'm literally feeling like I have to keep looking behind me, because I'm like, they're just going to pull up and they're going to kill me, because I pretty much took the ass beating and was like, what, you know, and what? And there's nothing to fight about anymore, because they got the stuff back, you know? Like, it just looks like a petty fight. I'm walking, and as I continue to walk, I start bawling like a freaking crybaby. I was gonna say girl, but we really need to stop saying girl, because a lot of us girls are chingonas as in half of what we do, men could not do. We're freaking cool, and we are hard as hell. But I start crying because I just lost a friend, you know, and I was just really hurt that she even put her hands on me. I was more hurt that Skillet touched me than Shadow. Like, honestly, I was just more hurt and just disappointed. Like, how could you? Like, how could you put your hands on me? Like, I felt disrespected. Like, I honestly really did. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Is that even the correct word? I felt betrayed. There you go. There's the word. I felt betrayed. Damn. And over some stupid bitch, Sam. And so I was walking, I was just like telling myself, like, you're not going to tolerate anymore. You're not going to put up with anything anymore. Little did I know, yes I would. But I was just talking to myself, like, you're not gonna do this anymore, you're not gonna do that anymore. But I had nowhere to go. Like, I honestly had nowhere to go. And I wasn't gonna go and bug the Peaches for me to stay. I wasn't going to do any of that. I was like, F that. That child is a demon child, and they didn't even want to take her on vacation because I'm pretty sure they didn't want their vacation ruined because how she is. I get it. She was going through her own thing, her own struggles, but some of it was like, you can't keep excusing a person because that's why they never learn. Because you excuse them and they know you already have their excuse set up for them. I wasn't doing her any good by constantly being like, oh, well, she has trauma or she's damaged. So am I, bitch. So am I. I get on my phone and me and my ex were still talking. Like, even though I wasn't at his place, I was still talking to him because I was still very in love with him. And even though I knew he wasn't right for me, I would still message him, check up on him, and we would meet up and stuff like that. I don't know if it's like he knew or he caught wind of like what probably went down, but we were talking and he was being like extra nice and was like asking me what I was doing and if I wanted to like hang out or something. And I was like, I just got in a fight with my friends and I would love that. We meet up at the park. I hadn't really like seen myself really because I didn't really know where to go. Like, you're a kid, you don't think like, oh, I'm gonna go into a gym and I'm gonna clean up and I'm gonna do this real quick, you know? There was some moments where I had like adult thinking, but I was just fog brain. I just wanted to sleep. And I know I say that a lot, but I really mean it. Like, I just wanted to go to sleep. I just wanted to lay my head down wherever and just knock out because I was just tired and my body was starting to hurt and I didn't want to feel anything, you know, because I feel the pain and then I'd be like reliving it all over again of like everything that went down. And I kept trying to like replay everything back in my head. Like, that's so nuts that that happened over Sam. Like, I keep trying to just like, over Sam. Like, ain't that crazy? Over Sam. Like, how this was all a domino effect. And she's chill, you know? She's chill. She had messaged me if I was gonna come over and clean the house the next day. I was pissed. Like, how could you? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, honestly, what is wrong with you? I didn't even bother to message her back because I was so pissed off because she has no idea what had happened. My freaking ribs hurt. Felt like they were just being squeezed. I was just like in pain. So I didn't message her back or anything. I didn't want to. I see the ex and we're just talking. He's pretty much telling me like, oh my God, like what happened? I'm trying to explain a little bit. He's pretty much just telling me like, it's your fault. You want to have friends. You see why I tell you not to have friends. Like, people are just fake. And I'm like, I want to have friends. Like, I'm still telling him like, I still want to have friends. And he's like, no, like, you see, like, this is why, like, it's just better if it's just, like, us. And I'm like, oh, so, like, only you can be my ass? You know, and he starts laughing, and he's like, you're so dumb, like, no. And he just, like, hugs me, and he tells me that I can stay with him tonight, that I just have to sneak in. He hasn't told his sister anything, and it was just gonna be a whole drama, whatever. So I sneak in, and I just head straight to the shower. This is my first time trying this. I'm pretty excited. Oh, it's gonna be lots of, like, handprints. So I go to the shower. I can hear his mom saying like, oh, like what happened? Like, she's so concerned. And he's like, oh, she has nowhere to go, which is pretty, like, it's true. Like, I have nowhere to go. I didn't want to go with my mom because I didn't want to deal with my stepdad. And I didn't want to have my mom crying about, oh my God, what happened? And I just didn't want to deal with any of it. Like, I just wanted to sleep. Honestly, that's just what I wanted. I just wanted to sleep. I just wanted to just go to bed. I was tired. It was a long freaking day. I'm over it. Before I take a shower, I have the water running and I'm just letting it run, going through my phone a little bit. I see a message from Skillet. She's just apologizing, like things got out of hand. They didn't have to get out of hand like that. That she couldn't just stop it. She was just too much in her head. That she loves me and that her and her dude are not even together anymore. That pretty much that he was like upset like what happened and that she's not mature enough for him. And so she probably thought like, I'm gonna go beat her ass. I'm gonna show him. And he was like, nah, that's not how you handle things. He was a little bit older than her. Remember I had mentioned? That was her bad. And she's like, we just need to talk. Like, can we talk? Like, I don't want you going back to your ex. Like, you don't need him. F him. Like, I know, but like, I just don't like how she was like trying. It sounded like she was just trying to be like the good guy. That is pretty. the good guy in the situation. Like, you don't need him, blah, 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 you know? And it was just like annoying because whatever. Then I see Sam's messages and she's just messaging like, you're still coming tomorrow? Like, so are you not coming tomorrow? So I can tell them that you quit. Like, trying to make me message back. And I don't have to message her. Like, I have the Peaches number. Like, there's no need for me and you to converse. I can message them myself, you know? So I message the Peaches right away and I'm like, hey, got into an accident, or car accident. I'm not gonna, because pretty much that's how I looked. After I looked in the mirror, I was just disgusted with myself because of how swollen I looked. Like, I looked like my ass got beat with a brick. Like, I did not look like me. Like, I looked swollen. You can see my cheek was swollen, my eye looked messed up, my lip was just busted, and I just didn't look like myself, you know? My eye was red. I didn't look like me. And my ex commented on it, but I don't really like to talk about him. I rather write about him, you know what I mean? But not so much talk about him as much. I looked bad. Like, I looked bad, y'all. Like, a part of me wanted to say that's why Skillet was probably crying so much, because of like how ugly they left me, you know? Don't respond to her messages. Just tell her I got into a car accident, and they don't respond. So I'm like, okay. I jump in the shower. I like to take showers that are scalding hot. Like, no exaggeration. Like, I like to feel like I'm burning my flesh off, but it was just too hot. How much my body was hurting. I put it onto like something colder, and I remember thinking like, this is like weird. I never take showers like this. I get cleaned and I go out to the sala, and he's being a little bit nicer to me. I think because of how I looked, you know, I looked pretty beat up. He put on a movie and we're just watching the movie together. So I eventually fall asleep. The next day I wake up and I'm like extremely sore. Very, very sore. I wake up to him telling me that he has to go to work and that I can't be there much longer because his sister is gonna probably hear me. And I'm like, no, like, I'll be quiet. And he's like, you have to go. I wait till he leaves, and me and his mom don't talk to each other like at all. Like, at all. At all. And I think it's because like how I looked, you know? She like came out, she looked at me, and she didn't really say anything. And that was that. And I was like, okay. Before I get ready to leave, I can hear them moving upstairs. So I'm just like feeling really quiet, and I'm just wrapping myself up in a cobija on the couch. Even though he had told me like to leave soon after, I didn't want to, because I'm like, where am I gonna go? Like, I literally have nowhere to go. I'm not old enough to like get me an apartment. I'm not old enough for any of it, you know? I'm just cuddled up on this bed slash couch. I'm just going through my messages, and then I seen that the Peaches had broke back, and she pretty much told me like how many days did I need, that they need someone at the house to not just check in on the stuff, but to give what's her face company. And I'm like, well, she's not my problem. Like, and that's what I told him, like, she's not my problem. You guys just needed me to look at the place, and she seems to handle herself very well. She's not my problem. Mrs. Peach didn't give me like a rude reply back, and she just said, yeah, I know she's not your problem, but that they would appreciate me checking on her too, and that if everything's okay between us. And I said no, that she had stole some money and that I pretty much got in trouble for it. And then they asked like, oh, how much? And that they could compensate, and that they apologize, and that if I could go please check on her today because she hadn't been answering. I'm like, I'm not going to check on her, because honestly, like, it's not my problem. Like, it's really not my problem to check on her to make sure she's okay or this or that. Like, how are you gonna leave it up to me, who's not an adult, to check on her? So I told them no. I had gotten in the car accident and that I couldn't really go anywhere. I wasn't mobile. And she replies like, oh, I forgot you had said you're in a car accident. Okay, well, I hope you're feeling better, and just let me know when you need to come back. I just said okay, and that was that. I get a message from Sam, and she messages like, oh, so you're quitting? And I could not reply back to her, you guys. I was just so upset. Like, what? Like, don't talk to me. Like, I honestly don't know why she didn't know boundaries. I eventually text Skillet because I'm like, you know what? I have to talk to her. So I message her back and I tell her that like pretty much like nothing's ever going to be the same, that I'm still upset, and you know, just expressing my hurt. Like, I can't believe you did that. Like, I really can't believe you did that. And she was like, that's why I asked him to step in, because like I couldn't do it. I'm like, no, that's a pathetic excuse. Like, I can't believe we even, you know, did that. Like, I don't even want to talk to you. And just that, like, I needed time, because I did. And even though like our friendship meant a lot, I still needed time, because it was just like the ultimate betrayal. It felt like her doing that, you know, or her saying like, come on guys, like I still can hear her say it, come on guys. And it was just unnecessary. It wasn't needed. And it just, you gotta be careful, because you can't trust everybody. Not everyone has like the best intentions. So I ended up passing out again, because I'm so tired. I wake up to my phone buzzing like non-stop. I don't know what I was dreaming, but it was like crazy. I just remember waking up and being like, oh my god, and thinking like the phone was something. I get a message and it's from the ex, and he's like telling me that I need to go to the house now. His sister's gonna go downstairs for something. Now, I don't think it's true. I think she already knew I was there. They just didn't want me staying there for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because they didn't want us together, or I don't know. I don't know what the reason is. I wasn't wanted. Like, I really wasn't anywhere, you know? So I don't know what the reason was. I get cleaned up, I go to the restroom, and I see some like makeup powder, and I start trying to like put it in areas, even though I don't know how to conceal a bruise, how to conceal anything, but I just go in with that powder, and I'm just like trying to get like the areas. So I do as much as I possibly can, and then I jump through the window and I just begin to walk. I don't know where I'm going, I don't know what I'm doing, but I just walk. And the whole time I'm just like feeling sorry for myself, and I hate when I do that, because I know that this eventually has to stop, right? I'm like, it has to get better, Lex. Like, this cannot be the life. Like, it has to get better. Like, there has to come a point where it gets better. I get a text from my mom, and she's like asking me. I swear she knows when things are up or something. Even to this day, I'll call her and she'll be like, oh, I'm just thinking about you. So I get a message from her, and she's like asking me like what I'm doing and if I'm hungry. Of course I'm freaking hungry, you know? And she's like asking me if I can make time, and she can like drop off the food, but that she just wants to see my face. I'm like, great, of course you do. Of course you do. I tell her like, yeah, we can. I just don't want to fight, okay? And I tell her that so she can already have it in her head, the words like, I don't want to be asked about nothing. She says like, oh, this, I don't want to be bothered with anything. Like, I'm just like, I just want to eat. So I tell her where I'm at. I'm like, yeah, like I'll meet you here. She ends up picking me up there. She literally doesn't ask me. I see it in her face that she wanted to ask me so bad, but I just looked at her, and she just looked at me, and my mom gave me this like really sad smile, just like feeling so helpless, like. And I hate when she does that face now. Like, I can just melt like a baby. And I just look at her and I'm like, so we're gonna go eat? Like, I remember just giving her attitude, because I'm like, I'm mad at myself, you know? Like, I'm mad at myself that this happened. I'm mad that we're not together. I'm mad that like she was dealing with her demons. Like, I'm just like so, oh, I didn't even cry about getting hit. I thought that was gonna do it, but nope, it was mom. I'm just like mad, because like I just wanted, like, I've always loved my mom. You can never replace a child's love for their mom. We were always like close. Oh, there it goes. I always loved to have that relationship with my mom. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, my mom was like my best friend. I would tell her everything. Like, even when it was like, she didn't even ask me, I would just like tell her. So to have that feeling of like, don't ask me anything, don't talk to me, or this and that, or like hating the situation, and hating that she was depressed, hating that she was bipolar. Like, I was just such an angry child that I'm just like, I just want the old you back so bad. Like, I wish I could go back in time and enjoy those moments a little bit more when I had you normal. And like, even if she were to be like, okay, let's go run away, I would still be scared, because I'm like, I don't trust you. I don't trust you fully, because her dealing with her demons gets really dark, you know? And even though like we could be like, we're right here, like, what about us? you know, we love you, like why can't you just stay? She wasn't seeing right, you know, and she's dealing with her own thing. So it hurt when I would have to be mean to her. Like it literally like tore me inside when I would have to be like catch an attitude with her or be hard with her, because like you never want to talk to someone you love like that, because it just makes you feel like shit, you know. So we go out to eat and she's just pretty much asking me like, so how's everything? And I'm like, everything's good, everything's fine. And like, how's everything? And she's just like telling me that she's been looking for some apartments and we're gonna be together. And she's like pretty much telling me that like once we get the apartment, so like I'm not gonna be able to do this or that. And I'm like, okay, mom, okay. But I feel like even at that moment, I already knew that like I wasn't gonna go back with my mom anytime soon. Not just because like she didn't get better, but because there was just so much resentment that I knew I couldn't. Like there's no way. And I was just used to being out and doing what I want and being like acting grown, you know? So I didn't want to have rules, I guess, in the back of my mind. Like I didn't want to have rules. I didn't want to follow her rules. I found her to be very hypocritical at times. So I was just like, no, like I don't want to. Which there's a lot of things that I feel like, oh, I regret doing this, I regret doing that, you know? The path that I led me to where I'm at, and I don't regret where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with how things played out. I always get asked like, would you go back in time? Would you change anything? No. Even the horrible moments, even when I went through what I did with my stepdad, even though I went through what I did with the ex's brother, like I don't regret it. Or my cousin, you know, what happened. Like a lot of messed up things have happened to me, and like I want to talk about them with you guys and I want to go like in detail, but I feel like it will trigger so many people. And usually when people speak their truth about things like that, like detailed things, it's so emotional. Like there's more that happens, especially when I bring up the ex and stuff, but like I can't talk about those moments because I get so like triggered. Like I get so triggered still. Anyways, I hella went sidetracked. So we're still eating. She's just asking me how everything's going. I'm telling her good. My brothers, they're being obnoxious and they're playing around and just being freaking kids. Like when I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh. My brother, he has a baby, which is my first nephew, and he looks just like his dad when he was little. And I'm like, oh my God, you know? Okay, we're just sitting there and I'm texting and me and the ex are talking, and he's like pretty much asking me like, where am I at now? Like, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm gonna go or anything like that. And he's just telling me that I can just sneak back in at night and do the same thing in the morning. I'm like, okay, cool. So that's pretty much what I did. I pretty much did that until me and Sam got onto talking terms, and the peaches were like hitting me up, asking me when I was gonna go and check on things because things were getting dirty and Sam wasn't cleaning up, and she was pretty much acting out. And I think she knew I was gonna go back, so she was doing more. She felt so entitled and she thought she was right, so she was messing up the house on purpose, leaving dishes. Like, she's only one person. Like, you really can't wash your own? You really can't do this, you really can't do that. She clogged the upstairs restroom and she was just doing the most. Like, I don't understand why. Like when I eventually went back, it wasn't the same. Like we kept arguing, kept fighting. But for the most part, I was just staying with the ex and sleeping there, showering there, and then in the morning sneak out and walk around until I had to go do something. I went to the library, got onto MySpace, and I literally just tried to waste time. I would try to catch up with my mom, but she was either, and I hate making it sound like she was like not doing anything, or she was just like choosing my stepdad over me. But the times that I would like be free from like walking, she was either like doing something with my stepdad, or she wasn't responding at the time she was sleeping because my mom was depressed, or I didn't want to bother her either because I was like, she's gonna know something's up and then she's gonna tell me like, you have to come back regardless. And I didn't want to be with the stepdad. So I just did a lot of like by myself, you know, going to MySpace, being on the internet, and just, I didn't have anybody. I wasn't talking to Skillet anymore. I wasn't talking to Shadow. There was like rumors going around that Shadow was saying that me and her like did something, but honestly, I think she was talking about the fight because she kept grabbing me, like literally kept grabbing me, where it was like, even when she did like a certain move where like, I don't know, she like tried to pick me up and like drop me, but she like put her hand between my thighs, between my legs, and like try to do something. And it was just like, Like even when she did it, I just like was like, what the, like it was just like weird, you know? So when I heard that she had started a rumor, they're like, yeah, like I wanted to fight her because like she chose Ursula. I'm like, what? Like if anything, you weren't fighting me. Like you were, she didn't beat my ass, but she was doing other stuff. It wasn't what you, nah. So I tried to clear it up as much as I could, but it was just like my word against hers. I guess Skillet was telling everyone like, no, she was grabbing Alexis like this. Like she was like trying to get one on her and tried to, but it was just like, don't even try to defend me because it ain't the same, you know? But that is the end of my story time of when I got jumped. I hate, it sounds so weird how I say it. I hope you enjoyed, but I hope you guys did enjoy me sharing that part of my life with you guys. I hope you guys do enjoy the story times. It's so heartwarming when you guys message me and you guys tell me that my videos are very therapeutic for you guys. It helps you, and that you guys didn't know that you guys were bearing some feelings, and listening to my story times has brought them up and you guys can work through them. So that honestly makes me feel so good inside, that like this is very therapeutic for me, like working through my feelings, because I know I get sidetracked a lot, but it's because I'm working through that feeling and you guys get to see it, and we kind of like go through that together. So I want to thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. I'm so sorry for taking so freaking long. It's just, life is crazy, you guys. I thank you guys for being very, very patient with me. I love you guys so much. I really do appreciate you guys. I read all your guys' comments. I know I don't get to respond all the time, but I do read all your guys' comments, and I really do appreciate them. You guys are so freaking amazing. I love you guys so much. Make sure you guys give me a big thumbs up if you guys enjoyed. It really helps me out a lot. And I love you guys. Besos a todos, and I'll see you guys in my next video. I love you guys so much. Bye.